On February the 28th, that morning, when the raid started, I remember being on my bunk bed on the top. That was my bunk. And I remember Judy Schneider coming in and telling me to get down, get down. There was a bunch of men here. Something was going to happen. She's like, get down. As I started climbing down the back of my bunk bed, down the ladder, I looked forward and I started seeing like the little holes in the wall, and I can feel and see the debris falling around me as the bullets came through where my pillow was. Judy put me on the floor, put her daughter Mina in my arms. I curled around her and she told me, she put a bunch of blankets and pillows and suitcases, anything that we had in the room on top of us. And she told me whatever I see, whatever I hear, not to get up for any reason. I listened, and then I started hearing people screaming, and I started hearing people running. I heard people yelling. I couldn't really make out what anybody was really saying. But at some point, from hearing everybody, I got scared. So I lifted the covers up, and that was when I watched Judy get shot. And
where was Judy when she got shot? I know she got shot in her finger and it went through her shoulder. What was she doing at the moment she got shot?
She had got a gun and tried to go to the window and I guess help the men, fire back. And I just remember her not even getting to the window, and I heard a loud bang and she flew back and fell beside me on the floor. And I just remember her like scooting backwards, and she was screaming, and there was blood everywhere. I'll never forget her screaming and just the helplessness that she had.
Was she standing up when she got shot?
No.
What kind of position was she in?
She was on her knees.
On her knees, sort of positioning it outside the gun and going outside the window?
Well, she got on her knees and she went crawling towards the window, and she had just put the gun down, and that was when a bullet came in and got her.
I think Judy's room was on the second floor, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of the mothers, except for Kathy Schroeder, she was on the first floor, but I think all the other mothers were on the second floor with the children.
Yeah.
Were you staying in Judy's room?
Yes.
Okay.
I lived with her and her daughter.
Yeah, because your mother, Kathy Jones, had already left Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
You were out there with your dad.
Yes.
David Jones.
My mom left roughly maybe a year before. She left me and my two older brothers with my father. But when she left, David said it was very inappropriate for me to be staying with my brothers and my father. So he took me away from my dad, and he put me to live with Judy Schneider. That's who I had been with and been living with.
So Judy was shot. You and her daughter, Mayana, and I think Mayana was perhaps 2 years old.
Almost two.
Almost two. So while the shooting was going on, all of you were there in the room?
Yes.
And at what point did you go out into the central hall, or did you move out to the central hall with the other women and children?
Basically we were pretty much like quarantined each person into their room. We kept we kept our bedroom door open. I just remember we had it open the whole time I was there. They would bring food and everybody would be, crawling on their hands and knees, and they would deliver to each room. They would deliver the food and, drinks or whatever, or milk. And I don't ever remember, after the raid, I don't ever remember getting up again. Or I never got on my bed. I don't really even remember standing up until they had let me go with some of the one of the women and some of the children, and we had actually got to go out in the hallway and we got to stand up. But while we were in our bedroom was right by the front door, and it was one of the rooms that got shot up, the most. And we were basically quarantined to our room, and I remember the only time I got to stand up is when I was in the hallway, and that was where there was no windows. The only window was right above the staircase by the front door that you walk up. And I think that was the only time I think I stood up, and until the day I got sent out and left.
So you were in Judy's bedroom on the second floor at the front of the building.
Mm-hmm.
The helicopters came in from the back of the building, I think. Did you hear the helicopters?
Yeah.
Did you hear any shooting from the helicopters that you could tell?
Yeah. You can hear from the people, like the ATF and FBI, that were shooting in the front, because they were not that far from my window. And you can hear shooting. I remember like loud bangs from the. It felt like it, and it sounded like it was coming from above me, but it never dawned on me, of course, who or what it was. I don't even think I knew about mounted guns and helicopters yet, so.
After you were able to get up and move around, did you see any bullet holes in the roof? Or in the ceiling, I mean? On the backside?
That's something I don't really remember. The only thing that I remember is, well, from the bullets, them coming through the wall, but they were in front on the ground, and we were in the second story building. So I remember seeing and hearing the bullets come in, and they were always going up. So I don't remember.
That's good. Well, that's good. But the fact that the bullets that were coming into your room going up, that's significant. Okay. Thank you.